are people that, these aren't just border hoppers, right? These are people that came in and are dealing with very serious criminal convictions, rapes, kidnaps, murders. They were going to release them. And Nashville's city officials, Democrats, were working with ICE to facilitate their release into the state. And our attorney general found out about it and said, no. I love that state. That state has got, it has already come a long way, and it's about to go even further, I think, because here's the best part. So people who moved in like me, some folks who are coming out of California, folks who are coming out from Illinois into Tennessee.
This is a new revolution.
It's a new revolution. So you have, pre-2020, you had a lot of blue fleeing blue into red, but still voting blue. Now it's so polarized and atomized, right, that you have these liberals who actually believe California is a great state. New York is a great state in terms of policy and cost and all that, and it's fine and it's great because, men can go in the ladies' rooms where everything is hunky-dory. The folks that are coming into the state now, there was a study that was done, 80 to 85% of them are conservatives, and they're fleeing what I got out of. They're fleeing the Californias, they're fleeing the Illinois, and they are fed up and still fired up. So where in Tennessee, the Tennessee native is very complacent and comfortable because it's never going to happen here. It's never going to be a problem here. But the folks that are coming out of these deep blue states are coming in with a vengeance and are saying, well, we're going to move here and we're going to make this place our home, and we're not going to let it turn into what we ran away from. And we're seeing that in Tennessee. Every time I speak at a Republican county event, and we've been to like 6 of them over the last month, different counties calling, can you come do this? I get so many people who are saying, I'm from California, I'm from New York, I moved here from, Massachusetts, I moved here from Pennsylvania, and all of these states that are run by Democrats, and they all came for the same reason. They experienced what they experienced in 2020 with the COVID lockdowns, and they said, and in the moment, it sucked to live through it. It was horrible, but looking back on it, I'm happy that I experienced it because living that, and then obviously being, with the activism, being a force to push back against that, you don't lose that spark when you've been through it. So that's what's going on in that state. I love that state.
So there was a couple of things, just headlines to insert a little bit of news here. There was Newsweek, of all places, because this is not a right-wing publication by any nature. They did an investigation that now we know is true, that authorities confirm, and that is that the camera network that's intended, obviously, to alert law enforcement and track the crossings where they can't have a physical person there, Border Patrol, they realize that the vast majority of that camera network is obsolete and
of course it is.
Down.
Yeah, because they don't want you to see it. They don't want to fix it. We could fix the border. Maricopa County could count the votes on election night. The reason they don't is because they don't want to, right? They don't want anybody to have access to. I mean, think about how easy it is. We're not dealing with 25 years ago with cameras. Everyone's got one. Everyone's got a Ring doorbell.
They're cheap.
They're cheap. You can do it. People have trail cams for you could easily monitor drop boxes, the border, anything that you want. They are not doing it. It's not because they can't. It's because they don't want to. Because they don't want us to have the evidence and the proof that what's happening on the border is probably worse than what we even talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying. And by the way, when Kamala Harris says, it's so disingenuous, one of the things that she always says about the border is, well, we need more border agents. The truth is we have at least 2,000 positions to fill. It's much like Philadelphia police and across the country after defund the police and other things. And so the truth is if they just could fill those positions, they even have said they're okay, as Border Patrol has obviously endorsed Trump. But I wanted to ask you just about what you're saying, that we talk a lot about immigration and the impact of this mass, these waves, really a tsunami of tens of millions of people reported to have come into our country. A good portion, we know, according to this administration, have criminal backgrounds.
Yeah.
They're not all good family.
It's not mattress tag criminals either.
These are dangerous, convicted killers. Their country's glad to get rid of them.
Right.
But at the same time, we have this migration within the country, which you're talking about. And so politically, I do wonder how that changes the landscape of our country.
Well, I think when we start to see the census in the next couple of years, if we could clean it up too, and not count the non-citizens, et cetera, one of the smartest things you could do, you want to take power away from the Democrats on the electoral map, you got to get out of those states because it's based off of population, right? So California has 54 electoral votes, but if they lose millions of people, they lose electoral votes, and if those people head to states like Florida and Texas and Tennessee and Alabama, you'll see a state like Alabama with 9 electoral votes, but Huntsville is exploding. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the country. Where I live in Tennessee, in Murray County, 40,000 people moved into that county.
That's incredible.
I mean, it's blowing up, and they're not blue. I mean, it's not 100% in either direction, but the folks that are coming now are people who are getting away from what Cuomo did, what Pritzker did, what Whitmer did, what Newsom did, what Murphy did. And they're not going to let it happen in a state like Tennessee. And if those trends continue over the next 5 to 10 years, Tennessee's 11 electoral votes, that goes up. Alabama's 9 electoral votes, that goes up. New York and California's power comes down on the electoral map. And that's how we can really, safeguard elections in the future too, by coalescing.
To further that point,
Yeah, Paul?
all right, the states that Trump won in 2020 were worth 216 electoral votes. As a result of the 2020 census, those states are now worth 219 electoral votes. And one other thing, New York State in 1980, New York State had 42 electoral votes. This election, it has 27. They have lost 30%, over a third of their electoral power over the course of 40 years. And based on migration patterns that you're talking about, it sounds like that trend is only going to continue.
It's incredible. All right, we have to interrupt this moment of brilliance with another moment. Greg Stocker, what have you just brought?
So it's not me. It's the great people at.
Okay. Oh, this is our friends this is Rick
Philly cheesesteak.
Stellato Boys Market.
Oh, that's Randy. That's Randy who gave it.
Well,
Yeah.
Randy gave it to us, but he's with Stellato, right?
Yeah.
With Stellato Boys, the food is delicious.
It's a cheesesteak for you, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
You can't come
Look
to
at that. We're
Philadelphia
gonna
and not
eat
have
the
a
cheesesteak.
cheesesteak, right? I mean,
I
come
will
on,
take
right?
a bite, right? We can all
President
have
Trump
some of the
never
cheese.
eats him.
I happen to love that.
We love cheese. We love beef. The beef that comes from the cow, and not Rosie O'Donnell, but
Oh, come on.
But I thought you were going to do a little Kamala-esque thing, like,
Do a taste test for us.
yes.
There you go.
See, you're
Look at that. Look at that.
And I'm sorry for those of you listening, if you're hungry, driving to lunch. How is it? Oh.
that is.
Uh-oh. What?
That's tremendous. It really is incredible. This is the greatest sandwich. And I'm not going to call it a hoagie, by the way. We're not going to do that.
Hoagie.
This is really good. This is phenomenal. So, a hat tip to those who made it. This is delicious. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rick Stellato Boys Market, Randy and Jamie. Awesome. That looks good.
It is so good.
He doesn't offer. And by the way, Dad and Mom are Paul. Did he offer you any?
I just told them you guys could have a bite. If you want to have some, have some. Do it.
But he
I'm not
kind
eating
of put his
that.
hand over
I
it,
got a
like,
plate.
yeah, you can have some. Thank you, Randy. You're the best. Thank you. And
Here, you
thanks
want a
to
plate?
Rick. Rick's real name is Emerico, which is like such a beautiful name. I can't believe he goes by Rick. I know your mom does not like that, so out of respect to your mom, Emerico.
Good.
So we are here live, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Nick and Greg, they did their potty break, and they're back. And well, what are you drinking now, Nick Cale? What? Look at this guy. Pedialyte.
Is that what it is?
He's having Pedialyte. You're such a baby. But we're here with the great Sean Farish, his mom and dad. It's so great to have, Mama Farish.
Yep.
Mama Deplorable. But
Yeah.
no, I think it's important. I mean, we love, because we're really a family. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. We're live and we're local, but I do feel like there's such a camaraderie. We felt it in this room this morning, people coming out. And the funny thing is, some of us have not met each other in person, whether it's us or whether it's our great audience here. But you feel like you've known each other for years. And it's amazing to me that we have this camaraderie, and it's not about politics. I just want to point that out. It's not like, oh yeah, they all have the same politics. Actually, not necessarily. I meet so many people who, for the longest time, they've been a registered independent, Democrat, Republican. It's more about what we've been talking about this morning with the Farish family, and that is the quality of life. Their quality of life issues, I think that's what has brought us together.
It seems to me, as an outsider kind of looking in, that there's a regional aspect, a cultural aspect to your audience. People that have lived in the southeast Pennsylvania or southern New Jersey area for their entire lives, and there's a certain culture that goes along with living in this part of the country, and everybody seems to kind of share that. Everybody seems to have the same experiences when it comes to that, and it transcends political affiliation without a doubt.
So true. Before we take a break, because Sean, you're so astute, and I would say that it was interesting to me that Sean brought up on Kale and Company this morning, talking about television news markets. And that's my background. So I started out in TV news, and I thought, wow, you're like a 40-year veteran of, the fact that you would see that, you're very astute. So I'll just put something on your radar, and that is the FCC. That is the state of New Jersey, which today, for this very special broadcast live from the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 56 here, in New Jersey, there is not a television market. There is no television market. You think about this state, which is the most densely populated large state of its kind in the country, with no television market. So think about states like North Carolina, whatever, go through and look at that. And so where do people from New Jersey get their news? If you're North Jersey, and it affects you what fan you're of, right, and what team.
Right.
So if you're North Jersey, you're probably watching New York TV. If you're South Jersey, you're probably watching Philadelphia TV. And then, but they've argued, I worked for a TV station actually that fought this and wanted to be here in New Jersey as the only television privately run, not a public, TV
right,
situation, to do investigative reports and all of that. So when you brought up the fact that Trump is astute to that, I love that you said that, but I also think it's a sign of the fact that the government has been weaponized in ways that we never realized until Donald J. Trump came along, pointed out the discrepancies within the media and the power of the media.
Yeah, and it's we've known that the media has been being weaponized against folks like us for a while. But when you started to see them actively rooting against Donald Trump succeeding, even if it meant everyone else's life gets better, that's when it became painfully evident. When he took, just go recently with the hurricane down in Georgia, North Carolina, when he took supplies down there and, he linked up with Samaritan's Purse, they were shaming him, you can't do anything, you're just a private citizen.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he's trying to help. What are you doing,
yeah,
right? They would rather see him do nothing. They would rather see people suffer,
yes,
than admit that he's doing a good thing and helping people, because they don't care about people. They care about power. That's all it is, and that's what the media has a stranglehold over. They used to have a stranglehold on the distribution of information, but now, because of talk radio like this station, because of platforms like Rumble, X has been so important, yes, over the last year and a half, as that thing has been completely overhauled. Their power, not for nothing, what you watch on the 5 o'clock news, you get at noon on X, and then it makes it to the 5 o'clock news. So platforms, social media, the TikTok day, there's bad things on there, but there's also a positive aspect to that, and the younger generation, they're not turning on the news at 5. They're going on social media and getting the information, and that's why, I think the media is losing its power. One, because they have no credibility; they don't know how to abide by the truth.
Yes.
But number two, their model is antiquated.
So true. We have so much more to talk about. I hope you can stay put. We're going to learn about Sean Farish, a few fun high school stories maybe. What was he like in high school? We'll have fun. And we've got the whole team here. We're going to continue the fun. Yeah. Thanks for being here. 855-839-1210.
Don't hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
New Jersey, this is Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th, or early in person starting Saturday, October 26th, or vote by mail. Details at vote.nj.gov.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
Are you looking to remodel your home?
Emmons Remodeling offers complete remodeling services to turn your house into your dream home.
With quality craftsmanship and attention to every detail, Emmons designers and construction experts can handle all of your remodeling needs from kitchens to baths to basements and additions.
Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out.
at Emmons, we have you covered.
You may be ready for retirement, but is your money? Learn how to make your money work overtime. Tune in to The Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen. Saturdays at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I could buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit EasyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
Yeah, we went to one. And we went down to Nashville and they played down there.
This is so much fun. I was just saying to Greg and Nick,
I know this song.
I never eat at these events. This food with Salato, it's so good.
Yeah.
So thank you.
By the way,
Rico.
there's still a cheesesteak here left. Where's Sean? I mean, come on.
He's taking pictures.
We're taking pictures.
This thing has got to weigh 7 or 8 pounds.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Darn.
He's bragging again.
Guys, this has been a tremendous event. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. I know both of you are too.
This crowd was so sensational, and the amount of people that have stuck around.
Still here.
I mean, the countless people that have come up and just wanted to say hello, not just once, not just twice, but some of the same people 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's the best audience in radio.
Best audience in radio.
No question.
I know. I felt bad that we were on the air, so much that we couldn't kind of play
Especially
together.
you. Especially you. Somebody needs to.
Have fun.
You need to.
What?
Tell your agent. You want to do less. You want to do less hours.
Yeah, right.
What the hell's wrong?
By the way, tonight there are still tickets available. Halloween in Abington, Pal.
Cool.
Great event. Talking about supporting, the Police Athletic League. They work with kids. It's a great organization. I'll be there tonight. You dress up.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's that? Massive.
Ferris is talking about the massive stakes.
Massive cheesesteak.
So, Mr. President, it weighs how much?
It's bigger than Chris Christie. Weighs a lot.
By the way, Sean, we have there's a few things we need you to sign. We all signed them, and we're gonna.
Oh, I just did those large books.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna auction them off.
The greatest signatures, by the way.
Now, do you actually autograph those Donald Trump or Sean Ferris?
No, we can't put his. We can't put his name on there. Obviously, it was one of the best compliments I got once. Was it was actually recent. There's a furniture store, an appliance guy down in Tennessee. He wants me to do ads for him, so I recorded some radio ads for him to run on stations down there.
Making a mint, buddy.
And he he sent them into the station, and the station came back and said, "We can't use these because it sounds too much like Donald Trump. We don't want to get sued."
Wow.
So I had to put a disclaimer.
You're that good.
I had to put a disclaimer at the end that said impersonator, not endorsed by Donald Trump. I said that's one of the best compliments I've been given. The fact that you don't know who it is.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
This is like the Kurt Vonnegut question, because Vonnegut always, in his books, and he tells the story that at one point his English teacher told him, you are the, whatever you do, just you could never become a writer.
Yeah.
Of course, famous writer and author. So do you have from your high school, college days, Sean Farish, I just wonder, somebody or maybe both examples, one who says, something discouraging you from like your performance skills, or maybe you had a teacher who recognized that you have talent.
Well, that is the funniest question, because the answer to that is precisely yes. So in 9th grade, I had an English teacher. I drove him crazy. And when my mom went in for parent-teacher conference,
she's nodding.
She said to him, he said to her, your son's smart, his grades are fine, but he's like a radio DJ.
Oh my God.
And she goes, well, thank you. He goes, it wasn't a compliment. There's never any dead air. And that was honestly, I've always been I was always into sports talk, but I was thinking, I was like, on radio, well, your job is to talk, and I love talking. So, I went from in high school early on thinking I wanted to be a teacher, because again, that's the whole. That's fun in terms of for me. I would have been fun.
Communication skills.
Right.
Yeah.
But I went from I don't want to do teaching. I want to do radio. I want to. So I went to Hofstra for radio, and the rest is history. I guess it worked out. So yes, he recognized what was going to happen.
Yes.
He saw it, and he was like, "Oh no."
That's so
and I was
cool.
in that class, and he was right, totally accurate. There was no dead air.
But you never pursued sports talk, right?
I mean, no. Well, early on, I was thinking that was what it was.
Because you're a sports fan.
Because and I'm still a sports fan. But a couple of years after graduating college and really getting into politics, just focusing on it, it was the 2016 election cycle.
That
got me. I always tell a story when 2016. My first pick was Rand Paul. I didn't think Donald Trump was taking it seriously.
Really?
I thought when he first came down the escalator and did the whole thing, I was never a fan of his. Like, I didn't dislike him. I didn't watch The Apprentice. I didn't watch a lot of WWE. I knew what he was. He was a guy who thought he was the greatest in the world, right? He was the biggest, the best, the strongest, the fastest. And I thought he was doing it for publicity. I thought he was coming down. That was my first impression. He's coming down here just to get attention because Donald Trump loves attention. This is what he loves. So I thought he was making a mockery of the process when he first started. And I didn't trust him, right? I didn't trust that Donald Trump was taking it seriously. And I didn't know enough about his background to know that he always wanted to pursue politics. It was, he revered Winston Churchill and Abraham Lincoln. But it was, Rand Paul, obviously, I think was the first Republican out of the race. He did better than Kamala, though, because he went through the Iowa caucus. And then I went from Rand Paul to Ted Cruz, because he was the closest, constitutional conservative in the race. And then Trump started in with the lion Ted and all this. And I was like, I don't know. Something changed. The dynamic changed when he knew he was going to win. It became serious. And I think he was always serious, but it became real serious. And he won me over towards the end of that primary cycle.
Was it the moment, I remember, and I wonder how this affected you as a native New Yorker, when Ted Cruz, and there was a famous debate, and Cruz said to him something to the effect of, well, those New York values.
Right.
And Trump came back with, oh, really? New York, as in 9/11 and the first responders? And I wonder if maybe that was a pivotal moment for you.
It wasn't really. It was the way the race started shaking out. I was following it. I was reading Rand Paul's book, Taking a Stand. I was just following the race because I'm interested in it. I became more, when I was in school, my minor became political science. I didn't know what my minor was going to be, but it became political science. And I've always been, I was always interested in politics, even when I was kind of more left-leaning in high school. But it was really, as that race started to shape up, I started to watch Trump, and I was like, I actually do like him. And he may not be, I still didn't know 100% if he was taking it seriously, but I'm like, but what he's saying is, funny. He makes my job so easy. When he calls into a town hall, and how brilliant is Donald Trump? I mean, come on, right? But the stuff he was saying about Clinton is the stuff that everyone wanted to say about her.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he said it not just about her, but to her.
Yeah, to her face.
And I said, I remember being in Ohio a week before the 2016 election. I was selling DirecTV at the time, and I was like, this stinks because he's going to lose. The polls all said he was going to. There was no shot. I'm like, and this is all going to come to an end. It was a lot of fun, and I was like, this really stinks. And then he won. And when the minute he won Wisconsin on election night, and we knew he was over 270, I started ordering MAGA hats, the original.
You were all in there.
You got the original.
I was already all in, but I didn't order them. But I ordered the vintage one, and at that point, I was like, this is going to be fun. And we got so much in that first administration, the al-Baghdadi press conference, the mean tweets, the Kim Jong-un meetings, all the fun stuff. And we had a great, prosperous country. And then
peace and prosperity, baby.
And then 2020.
Yeah.
And I feels like it was yesterday, waking up hungover on a couch, 7:30 in the morning. I had gone to bed at 3:30.
That'll be me tonight.
And just getting up and saying, what the bleep happened to Michigan and Wisconsin? How did this happen?
Yeah.
It's personal. That steal was personal, and
it was.
This is about redemption now for a lot of people.
Baby. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
You don't have a break coming up, do you?
Yes.
I do.
I'll save my question for the other side.
Thanks, Nick.
And ask him something.
So we're all here. Stay right there. We have so much to talk about. We really do, and we're going to get a little personal. And speaking of which, while Sean takes a little bite of his sandwich, I feel like I'm at my kitchen table, and we're just together, with the family.
Shooting the S.
Yes, and trust is everything.
It sounds like a podcast vibe right now, doesn't it? Where's Theo Vaughn?
This is like the Rogan,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just like it. Hey, well, I wish Joe Rogan were in my kitchen. We'd have have a good talk. But trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic, building a reputation for transforming kitchens with such precision and care, from custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes, and the all-important storage solutions. So I'm always saying to my husband, I'm like, like, Larry, what'd you put in my cabinet? I got to put my, and we're fighting over that. So I need to do a little something with the storage, a little bit of the storage solutions there. Here's the thing. Kitchen Magic, they get the job done and fast. Just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without all the hassle. You can trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic, what are you waiting for? Get your free in-home consultation. Get this on the calendar right now. KitchenMagic.com. Let's cook up something extraordinary. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Business owners can count on McCausland Lock and Alarm to secure and control access to their facilities. Enjoy peace of mind while their access control and CCTV systems provide top-of-the-line protection for your assets. Tom McCausland's wealth of experience allows McCausland to effectively protect all types of facilities in any environment, and their customer service is unmatched. Call today, 610-430-1500. 610-430-1500. McCausland Lock and Alarm, securing your business, securing your future.
The following is a paid commercial message. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
I'm Tahisha Way, New Jersey's Lieutenant Governor, with a message for New Jersey voters. You have 3 voting options in the general election. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. Vote early, in person Saturday, October 26th through Sunday, November 3rd. Or apply for, complete, and return a mail-in ballot. Whatever you choose, vote by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. Details at vote.nj.gov.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
SEPTA GM and CEO Leslie Richards announces she will step down in a little over a month. Protesters disrupt a Philly school board meeting demanding the reinstatement of a teacher who was removed for allowing students to openly support Palestinian rights. And the zoo will break ground on a $20 million Bear Country upgrade next year.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
The 2024 presidential election is here. With the race neck and neck and with so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground, and we're breaking down the numbers until every last vote is counted, providing you with insight on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2024 presidential election, Tuesday, November 5th, and listen to MSNBC Live on the free Odyssey app or wherever you watch MSNBC.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
We didn't play as much audio as we normally would, but Trump in Vegas, Trump in Tempe, what an awesome classic Trump. And then we have the true implosion of the Harris campaign. And remember what today is, October 25th, because it was about a month ago. It was actually September 26th, I believe. Or no, was it the 25th of September? We talked about that 5-panel New York court that, and I played that audio. We've been talking about it right on Kale and Company here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Will that 5-panel appeals court, will they overthrow and, spanking machine Tish James, who we all know, she did campaign on I'm going to get Trump. And so will they not only overturn the case, and this is under Judge Engamoran, as I call him, right? And so will they overturn this thing? But there was even a question by, these were 3 of the 5 judges were basically what I discerned from them and reading those court records. Number one, we've never seen a case like this in the history of this country. And that huge fine, over the top fine, remember that. And then number 3, even saying, should we consider some kind of sanctions against the prosecution in this case? Can you only imagine if they come out with this today or perhaps next week?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It would be, yeah, it would be. And you know what's remarkable about all of this is when this whole chain of events got going back in, what was this, March of 2023 was the Alvin Bragg case.
Yep.
That was the first one.
The indictment.
And then you go from Manhattan to D.C. to Georgia to Mar-a-Lago. And I forget the actual sequential order.
Seems almost orchestrated, doesn't it, Nick?
Every time there was a moment where things were bad for Joe or there was bad press for Hunter, here comes an indictment. Here comes another lawsuit. Here comes E.G. whether it's civil, whether it's criminal. And if you were to rewind it to late 2022, early 2023, once Trump decided to go forward with taking a third swing at the White House, and this orchestrated effort begun. Do you think in their wildest dreams, those that orchestrated all of the lawfare thought it would go as poorly for them as it has right now, whether poorly legally or poorly in the court of public opinion? Because if their goal was not to arrest him, but their goal was to smear him publicly so people wouldn't vote for him, the polls have shown that hasn't changed anything, right? I mean, he has been consistently 46 to 48%, good or bad, by the way. Whether he's indicted or he's shot, his numbers are pretty much where they are, right? And I don't think they ever saw that coming.
No, I think, because I remember one of the biggest arguments and one of the biggest cases for in the pro DeSantis camp from a lot of them was like, if Trump gets convicted, his poll numbers crash. So you might as well go with a safer choice and support Ron as your nominee. And I didn't know how much truth there was to that, but there were some polls that said, if he gets convicted, would you? And it was like, your 45 went down to 35. And I was like, ooh, that's going to be interesting. And then he got convicted in, what was it? It was in late May in New York. And his popularity increased.
Yeah.
And it was at that point where I think it was at that point where the left said, we probably should stop, or we should back off of this. So that's why that sentencing got delayed in September. Nothing to do with immunity. If they had sentenced him to jail in September, right? Or it was supposed to be in July, before the convention. Then they kicked it to September, and then they kicked it into after the election. If they had sentenced him to prison, he would never have stepped foot in a jail.
No.
But this race would be 60-40 right now. In terms of, because she's running on, he's going to weaponize the justice system. She just tweeted that this morning. He's going to weaponize the justice. Well, why don't we talk to the January 6 families, Peter Navarro, Jeff Clark, Steve Bannon, Douglas Mackey, and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Who's weaponizing what? So those indictments, every time Hunter had an issue, or every time Joe had an issue, it was either an indictment or a story about UFOs. Every time.
No, it's so true. I mean, and that, I think they were shocked by it. But I also will say this, that the country started becoming savvy to the issue of prosecutors versus police. Because if you look at, 1980s rap, or was it 90s rap music where...
F the police.
Yeah, and so, because one of my kids had it playing the music, I'm like, where's that? So...
I need to see your boys sing along with this.
So, but it reminded me of that it used to be blaming the police. Now we realize it's actually the prosecutors who lead the investigation, who lead the RICO type investigations. And I think everybody has become savvy to that as well. And this is something that I think that the left never expected, that this would ignite urban communities, minority communities who have long said this.
They think the police put people in jail, right?
Yep.
When you get arrested, they think it's the cop that arrests you that brings the case.
Yeah.
They don't realize it's a prosecutor. That's the best thing about Kamala Harris and what Tulsi did to her on the debate stage in 2020, where she said, you put those cases. You are the ones, you're the one who put people in jail for marijuana while you laughed about it. And then it was also, again, the Trump cases. You mentioned a few segments ago, that Donald Trump shine a light on what's wrong with the media. Well, he also just now is shining a light what's wrong with the justice system. It's not the police. It's the prosecutors. It's the Alvin Braggs. It's the Krasners. It's the Gascons. It's these people that are all over the country.
It's Merrick Garland,
Jack Smith, and these people who bring the cases, and file the charges and impanel these grand juries and indict the ham sandwich. It's those people that are corrupt. It's not the rank and file men and women of law enforcement, and a lot of people are seeing that.
And how many of them have campaigned on it? Letitia James.
That's true.
Fonnie Willis.
Yep.
Alvin Bragg. And they've been in office as a elected prosecutor for an extended period of time, and then conveniently, as Trump decides to make another run, here comes the suit.
Yeah.
Here comes the prosecution.
It felt timed.
Yep.
It did.
Oh, it absolutely.
Does anybody actually think he would have a criminal case against him today if he was just a citizen?
Not one.
Oh, no.
Not one.
No.
Not a criminal case. Not a civil case. E. Jean Carroll, nobody would know who she is.
Nope.
Okay. Stormy Daniels wouldn't be a person. No one would care. No one. But you know what? The silver lining is the fact that they are doing this to him, and you could point to it, and you could say, okay, if he wasn't running for president, they wouldn't be. There's your proof that this system has been weaponized against him, and it isn't just him. Look what they did to Alex Jones. Look, I don't like Alex Jones. Don't lie about a school shooting.
Yeah.
He messed up. That was a bad thing. Okay? The penalty that he got, excessive. Okay? To have to sell off everything, right? Giuliani, same deal. They're making him liquidate his New York City residence and a lot of his belongings right now because of Georgia's defamation suit against him.
And will that be overturned? Will all of this get overturned?
Jones probably won't. Giuliani might.
Yeah,
the Trump one. You mentioned the appeal.
Yeah.
That thing is dead. That case is
agreed.
I'm not a lawyer. We all know the $454 million judgment for fraud with no victims, loans that were paid back in full. So they're trying to say that he overvalued his properties to give himself a higher net worth so that he gets better standing with these lenders. But he paid it all back with interest. There were no victims.
Yeah.
There were no victims, but they're still bringing the case because they can.
Yeah. Amen.
But people see it, I think. A lot of people are seeing it going, man, what they're putting this guy through. And then, they're shooting at him. You got people hiding on the golf course. Because, again, and now they're back to calling him Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, they want somebody else to take a pot shot. It's just scary. It's a scary time.
They call it a dog whistle. They go, that's a dog whistle to white supremacy. I think you calling this guy Hitler is a dog whistle to the next crazy person with a gun.
Well, of course. It stirs up the crazies who actually believe that. And then they take that belief and they put it into action.
You know what? We need to escape.
Yes.
That's what we need to do, to paradise. The Italian Riviera, I have had really made friends because of not just Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, but also our last Italy trip.
Wait a minute. You're going away again?
Your boss, they didn't approve this?
So is she going to be around?
I can't believe this.
Dave Toronto, where's
she has the...
Help me out here.
Like, how many Italy trips am I funding for you?
You're more Italian than Dom and Rich combined these days.
You are going away again?
Yeah.
Nice. Are you going to the Vatican?
We did that last trip.
That's right.
Southern Italy. It was
Did
amazing.
you see? Was there an X where Operation Tootsie Roll happened?
This is where it happened.
Yes. This time it's the Italian Riviera gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours. I can tell you, the best tour operator in Italy, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre. $53.78. That does include your airfare. Yes, $53.78, which is incredible. Dining events at the wineries in Tuscany. Even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Call toll free 888-733-9494. You can go to conservativetours.com. If you scroll down, you'll see pictures and the full itinerary. Incredible. Hidden Italian villages that you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. How does this sound? Concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. We'll have so much fun, make new memories. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. ConservativeTours.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. If you're looking for a window of opportunity to replace the windows in your home, now's the time.
Right now at Window Nation, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. There's no limit on how much you could save. Plus, you could save big with no interest or payments for 24 months. Call Window Nation today to schedule your fast, free in-home estimate or visit windownation.com.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Attention thrill seekers, it's the Monster Truckload Hot Tub Sale at Springdale's Hot Tubs. With deals so monstrous they'll send shivers down your spine. Save up to $5,000 on hot spring and Caldera hot tubs. Plus, the excitement continues with bonus accessories worth up to $3,000, salt system, insulated cover, and more. But beware, these monster-sized deals are only here until October 27th. Don't miss your chance. Visit Springdale's Hot Tubs at springdancehottubs.com before these deals vanish for good.
Football is in full swing. While the players are making moves on the field, you can make the ultimate move with a beautiful engagement ring from Cozy Jewelers. The holidays will be here sooner than you think, so stop into Cozy Jewelers and huddle up with Paul Cozy and pick out a custom engagement ring that will make this the most magical holiday ever. Step up to the 5th C. That's color, cut, clarity, carat, and cozy. Cozy Jewelers, located in Newtown Square, or cozyjewelers.com.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Enjoy all the NFL action with a chance to win on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers can bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win a bet on a game this week. My favorite feature on the app, though, is the parlay. I love the parlay. Eagles playing the Bengals this week. Joe Burrow due over passing yards. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown, you got to go with him. Jalen Hurts maybe under on the passing. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to make every moment more this season. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You have to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Live and local from Philadelphia. The Dawn Stensland Show on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
As we wind down to the final days before Election Day, November 5th, I will tell you, first of all, I hope that you make sure that you vote, whether you're returning your mail-in ballot, because I just talked to somebody, they said, I'm getting a little nervous. A lot of Republicans, why aren't they returning those mail-in ballots, or are they planning on taking it and voting in person? So make sure you make your plan and you get her done, as I love to say. Good morning. Great to be here with you and on this special live remote in South Jersey as we're celebrating, of course, those who back the badge and those in law enforcement, the families who need our support, need our love. And that's really what brought us here, backing the badge and the families behind the badge. But reporting live to you from the Fraternal Order of Police, the FOP, and this is South Lodge 56 this morning. Great food, great friends. We feel like we're family. But I want to take you thinking about the economy. You know the old saying, it's about the economy, stupid, right? And so I had a great conversation with Stephen Moore. I want you to hear it as Stephen Moore really spells out his friendship with President Trump, goes way back. And this is really a book about, and by the way, you're going to find out coming up who named the book The Trump Economic Miracle. You can kind of guess, but here's Stephen Moore and my conversation with him. So his book is The Trump Economic Miracle, #1 bestseller right now on all of Amazon. Welcoming in this morning, Stephen Moore. Thanks for being here, serving as an economic advisor to Donald Trump, actually since the campaign in 2016, and now an economic guru, if you will. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning. Well, I'm feeling very good about things right now. I mean, it looks like that tide has turned, and you remember when we had that 3-week honeymoon period for Kamala where she was treated like Mother Teresa? I think that's the sign has come off of that as people have gotten to know her. I want people to remember the one thing. Remember when you go to the voting booth is she actually had a more liberal vote. Are you ready for this? She had a more liberal voting record in the United States Senate than Bernie Sanders. Can you believe that?
Well,
I would have thought that was impossible. How do you get to the left of Bernie Sanders?
Well, I think somebody found on social media one ironic Liz Cheney saying something to that effect the other day from back in the day. So I had just retweeted that just for people's perusal. But that's just it. I mean, you're somebody, and I know that your new book, congratulations, by the way, because I think people want the facts. And just even watching the town hall that aired on CNN last night, and many people from the Philadelphia region, there was a mom named Pam, and in the end, I thought that the debrief was the most interesting point, that you had this mom who's a widow, lost her husband, has kids, some of them in college right now, and she just pushed back, and all the other citizens agreed with her when she said, all this name calling about people from years ago that I don't even know who they are. It seems like high school name calling. Basically, all we care about, nobody cares about anything other than what are you going to do for me and my kids? And she said, I'm going to vote for my kids. And so she wasn't saying who she's voting for, but she did not like that the vice president could not give her one detail. She's right there. And that says a lot, doesn't it?
I think that's right. And it does. And look, if you're someone like that woman. By the way, I have a confession to make. I did not watch the CNN interview last night because I have to watch CNN. I know, but in any case, the thing is that's really amazing is that. In fact, I just did a report on this, that the national debt, and by the way, debt went up a lot under Trump, so I'm not excusing Republicans by any means, but it's just absolutely exploded under Biden. So he took a bad situation, with the debt after COVID, and he made it much worse. So he added, $5 trillion to the debt that was already in deficit. So why do I mention that? Because if you care about your kids, I mean, you and I aren't going to pay off that debt. It's going to be our kids and grandkids that are going to be burdened with that. And what kind of a country does that? What kind of a president and vice president just load up massive debt? And then, by the way, the economy right now, it's so good, everybody. It's so good. Consumers are spending. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. Like if you and I went out on a Friday night and we just drank and had lobster and blah, blah, blah. And, we dancing on the tables. And then the next morning you can barely get out of bed. That's what we're doing right now. With all of this supposed, growth in the economy, it's all being funded by a massive increase in red ink and debt. That's not a way to get rich.
Yeah, and, Stephen, to your point, I will say this, that during a worldwide pandemic, there was a lot of fear. It was an unknown. So during the Trump administration and during the beginning of the Biden-Harris administration, I can say, okay, during times of peril like this, it's a pandemic.
Yeah,
we didn't know.
We didn't know what we were doing. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
we certainly wish we
And we borrowed
knew.
a lot because we shut down things. But I want to make this point loud and clear to your listeners. This is really important. I mean, you're right, and I remember like it was yesterday. Because I remember, this is an honest God true story. I remember waking up in like mid-February and like, oh my God, something's going to happen to our country. Because remember, in early 2020, the American economy was absolutely booming because of Trump's policies. And Trump was on the road to winning a 40-state re-election landslide.
Yep.
And then I thought, oh my God, something's going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to be an earthquake or whether it was going to be a tornado or a hurricane or a terrorist attack. I never imagined it would be a virus. But my point is, that changed everything. But I just want to make this point crystal clear because we can never allow our government to shut down our economy again. That was one of the greatest tragedies in our country's history. We have a report on Unleashed Prosperity we did with the top health, education, and economic officials around the country. Did you know that the lockdowns killed 10 times more people than they saved? Did you know that?
I believe it.
Yeah, because of the deaths attributable to things like loneliness, suicide, the fact that people got delayed health care, so people with cancer couldn't get the screening that they needed. So it was a disastrous policy. And I'm here to tell you, some of my liberal friends still think it was the right thing to do. And they want to do by the next time we have another virus, they're going to try to shut down the schools and the churches and the businesses. And by the way, I was there many times with Trump in the Oval Office, and we made mistakes, but I guarantee you, Trump wanted to get the economy reopened as quickly as possible, and it was liberal Democratic governors like yours that kept the economy shut down.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw this. It went viral yesterday. It was with Michael Moore, who is obviously a liberal.
I know Michael Moore. I've done a Moore versus Moore debate with him.
Ooh, I love that. That's what I was going to ask you. Any relation? But he put out, where he was giving a speech. Obviously, I believe it was in Detroit, and he goes through and he actually talks about Trump and the shutdowns, and that he believes that this election where we have suffered, where we are angry for exactly what you just talked about with, and believe me, Governor Tom Wolf, I'll never forget. I mean, I'm a mom. My kids were in middle school. Yeah. It was devastating to my kids.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Right? And so businesses shutting down, grandparents dying in nursing homes. And Michael Moore's point was, this election is going to be a referendum on all of that. And the fact that the Democrats doubled down on it, still, they own that. And I agree with him.
Michael Moore said that?
He said that. He actually said it.
Approvingly? I mean, in other words, was he saying he thinks it was the right thing to do?
I think what he's saying is he's predicting in this election that Trump gets it and that Democrats don't. That's what I inferred from that. He's saying that people are going to put that big X. And I thought, you know what? I have to admit, Michael Moore's right. I'm mad. I'm angry at the Democrats.
Yeah,
they did this and they continue to.
We estimate that today's children, who lived through COVID and who were denied, in some cases, a year and a half of education, that impact will reduce their wages and that generation of today's children by several $1 trillion in lost wages and salaries. So it was the biggest episode of national child abuse in the history of the country. And you know who did it to us? The teachers' unions. Even when we had the evidence that children were not vulnerable to COVID, and a microscopic number of people, young kids, died from COVID, and yet we shut down schools, and it was a tragedy. So anyway, I agree with you. And the other point is related to what you were just saying. Look, Trump is the candidate of the middle class, of the working class in America. If you look at when I've been doing a lot of traveling around the country for Trump, and when I go into the really, really rich neighborhoods, all I see is Kamala Harris signs.
Yep.
When I go into the working class towns, all I see is Donald Trump. So everybody says, "Oh, Trump's just for the rich." No, he isn't. Kamala's the one who's for the rich.
Exactly. And to your point, because I'm a longtime Philadelphia resident. Admittedly, it's the Chestnut Hill section of Philadelphia, so I border Montgomery County. But I will tell you this, when I drive through the city in the wee hours of the morning, because I drive in the dark in the wee hours of the morning, what strikes, I roll through those stop signs with the crowd. But the thing about it is, what I noticed, Stephen, is that back in the day during elections, like even with Mayor Sherrell Parker, everybody had an orange, Parker for mayor, right? Everybody has the lawn. What I notice is the sparse nature of the Harris walls or even Biden signs when he was running. That's in a city like Philadelphia, that's not a good sign.
And I'm seeing that around the country. Exactly that phenomenon that, you just would see the Obama signs everywhere. Remember when Obama was running for president?
Good point.
You're not seeing that now. And I think there's an enthusiasm gap, no question. I mean, I would go through a burning house to vote for Donald Trump. I feel so strongly about this, and I think a lot of your listeners probably would too. But I don't think a lot of Kamala, some people are, some of my liberal friends, look, I understand if you don't like Donald Trump, I get it. I love the guy, and I think he's been amazing. I've gotten to know him really well, and he's a really, he has his flaws, no question about it. But he is a very good person and a great man. And anyway, he has the program. The reason I want people to get the book, Trump Economic Miracle, and by the way, it's like only $14.95. And go to Amazon. We're doing really well. We're not number one on all of Amazon, but we're number one in business and economics. But if you know anyone, folks, who is an undecided voter, because we still have about 10% of the voters who are undecided, give it to them. Just say, look at it. Here's the evidence. Here's what happened when Trump was president, with jobs, with low inflation, with all the new small businesses that we created. Remember the mortgage rate was like 3% when Trump was president. Everybody could afford a house. We want to return to those days. And when you compare that with Biden-Harris, on virtually every single economic measure, Trump's performance was far superior. So if you're if you're someone who's voting your pocketbook, and every poll shows that that the two biggest issues are inflation and immigration, if you're going to vote on the economy, then Trump has to be your guy. And by the way, Kamala wants a $5 trillion tax increase. How are you going to rebuild the American economy with a $5 trillion tax increase?
So that's Stephen Moore. We'll continue our conversation. So much fun here in South Jersey with like-minded folks. We're just talking about this, how just the camaraderie, not that we're always talking about politics, right? We're talking about the quality of our lives, our values, and that's really what brings us together. So, friends, thank you so much for being here today. It's a beautiful Friday, October 25th. I was looking up this day in history, in fact, and back in 2019, this was when Trump was president and was really pushing for social justice reform in his own way. Remember that? They don't like that on the other side, do they? My conversation with Stephen Moore continues right after this. But first,
Dr. Marty McCary. First of all, I got to tell you off the record, my kids have lice. Any advice?
There is a good protocol for lice, but it's a lot more common than people think.
So I'm not going to die or anything, right?
You're going to live.
He's a world-renowned surgeon at Johns Hopkins, and you're wasting his time talking about lice.
That seems like the most apt thing to ask a professor of medicine.
Exactly. I loved his answer. He's like, yeah, it's really common.
Like, shut up. Why are you asking me this? My time is valuable.
Rich Cioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
My friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles, featuring the latest luxury vehicles from today's top brands. I'm talking about Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, Land Rover, BMW, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and more. These models, they have such sleek new designs, innovative features powered by the very latest in technology. And Piazza has thousands of new as well as certified pre-owned vehicles available right now across Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey dealerships. Piazza Premium Automobiles stands out. Visit PiazzaPremiumAutos.com, Piazza, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. For years, I've talked about the health benefits of Rescue Natural Supplements after making their omega-3s a part of my daily routine. From supporting heart health to providing pain relief, they provide essential nutrients that impact our bodies in so many ways. Listen to this recent comment from Carol. She says triglycerides are at an all-time low and increase my well-being, while joint pains and muscle aches have decreased too. People like Carol have trusted Rescue with her health goals, and now it's your turn. For a limited time, use the code OMEGA50 for an exclusive buy one, get one free offer on any of the 7 Rescue Omega-3 choices. To get this special radio offer, call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483, or use the code online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Remember, use that code OMEGA50, OMEGA50, to buy one and get another Rescue Omega-3 absolutely free.
Hey man, come here. You're not going to believe it. I picked up this beautiful model. She's down here.
A model?
Yep, got her from the train store.
In your basement?
See?
Oh, model train.
Whew. Yeah, what'd you think I was talking about?
Nicholas Smith Trains. Become the conductor with any model you can imagine, from classics to new releases and holiday-themed engines. Don't forget to visit Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys this holiday season. NicholasSmithTrains.com.
This is Len Lundy of Lundy Law. Every year, millions are hurt in car accidents. The numbers are overwhelming. But if you're injured in an accident, don't feel overwhelmed. Call Lundy Law. We remove the stress and get you the maximum compensation you deserve. We hope we never meet because of an accident, but if we do, we're here for you. Remember our name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit LundyLaw.com.
See Joe Conklin with Norm Clark and Vince Valentine at the Sellersville Theaters Saturday, November 2nd.
Joe is awesome. Wonderful. Excellent.
Show was awesome. Merrill Reese was really funny. I thought the Charles Barkley stuff that he did was funny.
I actually looked him up online. I was kind of scared. Oh, I thought it was great. My cheeks are still hurting from laughing.
I just got here. I didn't say it, but I heard it was great.
That's Conklin with Norm Clark and Vince Valentine at the Sellersville Theater Saturday, November 2nd. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start at PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient at PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the Teeth in a Day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
So you know Trump's economic plan, right? And so you're the guru with the book. So let's go to some of these individuals locally, asking the vice president, what's your plan? Vice president says, well, I'm going to tax the rich, but I'm not going to tax you, and did this word salad thing. Even David Axelrod was critiquing her. So with regard to people who say, well, Trump, are you going to raise my taxes? And what about these tariffs that, in fact, the vice president claims that the tariffs are just another form of an income tax? You say what, Stephen Moore?
Well, let's go back to the first part of what you just said, because it's important. You're talking about what you're going to do about, dealing with this national debt. It's now $34 trillion. And last year, we just closed the book on 2024, the fiscal year, which ended on September 30th. So we know the numbers. Do you know how much we borrowed in 2024?
Tell me.
You want to take a guess? Just a little under $2 trillion in 1 year, in 12 months. Wow. $2 trillion. This is the most financially reckless administration in the history of the country. I mean, this is usually in good times, and they keep saying how good everything is. I don't think they are that good. You would be actually paying down your debt. Instead of paying down our debt, we're adding $2 trillion more. So this is a financially reckless administration. So it's very appropriate to ask Kamala Harris, what are you going to do about the debt? Now, first of all, she says she's not going to do anything differently than Biden, which sends a chill up my spine. We're going to have 4 more years of this. And the second thing she says is what you just said. Oh, we're just going to raise taxes on the rich. Look, folks, you could take every single penny from every single millionaire and billionaire, every penny they got, and you're still not going to be able to balance the budget. There just aren't enough rich people to do it. So when she says she's going to raise taxes, she's coming after you. There's just no question about it, because there isn't enough money among the top, 100 millionaires and billionaires. There just aren't enough of those kind of people in a country of 330 million people. So you can tell I get agitated by this, because it's just a big lie. Oh, we're just going to tax the rich. Well, by the way, if you look at the states like that have high taxes on the rich, everybody leaves. People are leaving California. People are leaving New Jersey. People are leaving New York. Where are they going? Oh, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Utah, states that have either no income tax. So all you're going to do is you're just going to move the money around, and we're going to hurt our own economy. I mean, look, the people in the very top, those evil rich that she's talking about, do you know what they do for a living?
They create jobs.
Yes, exactly. They own, operate, and invest in businesses. Folks, this is pretty simple. You can't have jobs without businesses. You can't have businesses without profits. She's going around the all these profit grubbing companies, they're price gouging. She's never, you know how much business experience Kamala Harris has?
0. Well, she claims she worked at McDonald's. Does that count?
She claimed